Hi guys, in this course we will learn routing and navigation in Angular application. Let's get started. In a single page application, we perform application tasks. We need to move between the different views that we have defined. Angular routing is used to handle the navigation from one view to the next. For routing, we use the Angular router. The router enables navigation by interpreting a browser URL as an instruction to change the view. Routing is a mapping between an URL and the functionality of a web server. Common routing tasks. Generate an application with routing enabled. If you don't want to work in manual process, use this command ng-new routing application name and then --routing. And also add components for routing. You can generate components using this command ng-g c for component and then type components name. Okay, this is a new Angular application. Now open a new terminal, and if you are working manually, now generate components with this command ng-g for generate and c for component and type the component name. In this case, component name is 1, then hit enter. Okay, now generate another component, name it 2. Okay, now our application has two components, okay, 1 and 2, and a root component, app component. Okay, set base reference. If you are working manually, make sure that you have base reference in head tag of index.html file in your Angular application. Open index.html, okay, and add this tag in index.html. This assumes that the app folder is application root and uses /. Okay, import components. To use new components, import them into app module. Okay, already imported when we generate these components, and also add these two components in declaration array. Okay, now import routes and router module in app module file. Import from Angular router. Okay, import router module and routes. Okay, now add a router module in imports array. Now define a basic route. There are three fundamental building blocks to creating a route. Import router module and routes into your app module and define your routes in your routes array. Here, a routing array is an object that contains two properties, path and components. Okay, now define a routes constant routes of type routes. Okay, path and component. Okay, this is the two properties of a route. Okay, add path 1 and component 1 component. Okay, also add another route. Its path is set to and component 2 component. Okay, now call for route method and add routes instance routes and enable true for debugging purpose. Here path defines the URL path for the route and component define the component Angular should use for the corresponding path. Add routes to application. Update your component template to include router outlet in app.component.html file. Open app.component.html file and add a router outlet. Okay, now save and start the server. Okay, open a web browser. Now browse this URL. Component 1 works and 2 component 2 works. Okay, this element informs Angular to update the application view with the component for the selected route. Now add a navigation bar in app.component.html file. Add to link, so use list tag and then anchor tag. Okay, 1 use router link. Okay, 1 and copy, paste here and update the router link to 2. Okay, now save this file, reload and click on 1 and see component 1 works, and then click on 2 and see component 2 works. This navigation gives you link to click which tells the router which route to use. The routed views render in the router outlet. Okay. Setting up wildcard route. A well-functioning application should gracefully handle when users attempt to navigate to a part of application that does not exist. To add this functionality to your application, you set up a wildcard route. Okay, go to app module and set a route path and component. The two asterisks indicate to Angular that this route's definition is a wildcard route. Here, component 1 set as a wildcard route. Browse root URL and you will see one component works. To display a 404 page, set up a wildcard route with the component property set to the component you would like to use for your 404 page as follows. So generate a page not found component with this command ng gc page not found. Okay, hit enter. Now set the wildcard with page not found component. Okay, update. Page not found. Now browse an URL with any route and you will see page not found because we have no route with this URL. Okay, displaying a 404 page. The router selects this route if requested URL does not match any of the path earlier in the list and sends the user to the page not found component message. Setting up redirect. A redirect route has three properties: path redirect to and path match. To set up a redirect, configure a route with path you want to redirect from, the component you want to redirect to, and a path match value that tells the router how to match the URL. This is the root URL and use redirect to property and use the URL, my case 1, and then path match full. Okay, save this file. And this is working. Is not found. Okay, redirect is working. Now we will work with nested route. So we have to generate a new child component. Okay, generate to child component with this command ng gc and component A and component B. Okay, now open one.component.html file and add navigation. We can copy this from here. Okay, now update the router link A and B, and also add router outlet. Okay, save this file and go to app module and define children property and an array. Okay, now add new route with path and component here, a component. Okay, and add another route path b and component b component. Okay, now save this file and run the server. Okay, browse the root URL and here click on the URL A. We have to update 1 and 1. Okay, reload, click on A works, and click on B works. Okay, okay, we can generate separate routing module in our Angular application. Let's create an app routing module in the app folder to contain the routing configuration. Okay, open terminal and type this command ng g and then module and module name app routing. Okay, dash dash module f dash dash flat. Okay, hit enter. This will generate app routing in app directory. Okay, open app routing module. Now refactor routing configuration. Open app module and copy this routing, paste here, and also copy the all imported component, paste here, top of the routes instance. Okay, and also import router module and routes. Add this line here. Okay, now save this file and also now add a router module in export array router module. Save this file. Okay, test the routing. Okay, okay, If you like this video, please subscribe the channel, like, comment and share this video. Thank you so much for watching this video.